Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
Americans of Reddit, how are you celebrating your nation's anniversary of its independence from the tyranny of the emotions and whims of a single ruler? Working 12-hour shift, like a true American. Gotta make sure we do our part so the 1% can get more tax breaks. I'm so glad this bill passed. I was really worried they would struggle. Working, I'm writing an article about Mitch McConnell's campaign finance history. Does that count as working? It does, I think, but remember to put a trigger warning. That man is a ghoul. 4 years of not drinking for me today. Woohoo! By stealing the Declaration of Independence. Watch out for Boromir, he's after it too. One does not simply steal the Declaration of Independence. Boromir? I thought it was Ned Stark. Throwing some tea into the ocean to remember the good old times. I'm in a landlocked state, so I'm just microwaving mine. You know, good enough. Wow, you guys won independence from us, no need for a horrific insult to our very core. Continuing the free online class on the Constitution that's being offered by Harvard. I've been wanting to do that. Link. And good on you for spending your time in such a way. Less than 3. https://pll.harvard.edu/course/american-government-constitutional-foundations American Government, Constitutional Foundations, Harvard University. Working, I'm a pastry chef at a resort in PA. We're hosting a large group of Iraqi and Iranian transplants. Dessert was listed as chef's choice, so I'm making klika, nani berenji, stuffed dates, dahina hawal, and chocolate chip cookies. I'm fed up with hate, so I'm channeling the grandmothers and baking love. Fuck the cacistocracy. I see what you did there. In all seriousness, a few years ago, I started a tradition of reading the Declaration of Independence and What to a Slave is the 4th of July by Frederick Douglass. I'll do it again today to remind myself of how far we've come and how much farther we have to go. Apparently NPR tried to read the Declaration 1 year, but MAGA got angry they were slandering Trump. https://www.cbsnews.com/boston/news/npr-declaration-of-independence-tweet/. Reminds me of that article about how a bunch of people got mad at a pastor for being too woke in a sermon, and it turned out he was just quoting the Sermon on the Mount. If you live in the Boston area, both of these documents are being read live today. One at the birthplace of the Adamses, Adamsey, in Quincy, south of Boston, and one at the Royal House and Slave Quarters in Medford, just outside the city. I went to the Douglas reading last year. It was packed and awesome. I'm going to the Adams property reading today and I'm really looking forward to it. In about 3 hours I'll be sitting in an infusion chair getting life-saving medicine that I would never be able to afford if I didn't work a union job. I'm so happy you're able to get your medicine, dude. I hope everything goes well. Purple heart, purple heart. Well, my cat died completely unexpectedly in my arms last night, so sobbing really hard. That's hard. Best to you, and good for you on giving your cat a life of love. Thank you. Loudly crying, mending heart. Gonna be a rough day. Would that we could all pass cradled in the gentle arms of one who loves us so. I'm so sorry for your loss. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful I got to hold him as he passed, even if it was really heartbreaking. He wasn't alone. Going on a bike ride with my family and making Mexican food. I'm making Mexican food, too. Have fun with your family. Slightly smiling face. We are ordering from a small authentic Mexican restaurant. Supporting our immigrant neighbors. Working in an ER treating uninsured patients and undocumented immigrants. Saluting face. XRN here. Get the sterile fluids ready for the copious number of burn injuries. Got the burn team extension written on my arm. Let's do this shit. It's 75, sunny, and breezy. I'm eating edibles, listening to music, and upcycling furniture in my backyard with my beautiful rescue pup. Exclamation mark. You now must pay the beautiful rescue pup picture tax. I don't make the laws, I just enforce them, and I just really wanna see cute dogs, please. And you have to pay the pup in treats for modeling for your photo shoot. That's in the union contract. Ain't nobody trying to get paid in exposure nowadays. Driving to Crater Lake for a camping trip. I'm a British person reading all the comments on this post. Yours sounds lovely. I'm imagining what your Crater Lake is like, envious of the beautiful scenery you have there in the States camping. Crater Lake is like something out of a sci-fi book. It's otherworldly. The lake has unique properties. It's insanely deep, low oxygen, so basically no marine life, and it has a massive tree that's been floating vertical in the lake for hundreds of years. The water is clear as glass and cooled. Jumping into it off a cliff a few years ago, I remember thinking that the second I hit the water, every ounce of air immediately flew out of my lungs and I started sinking into the depths fast. Cool as hell. The weather is beautiful, sun is shining and seeing family tonight. Plus it's a day off work and I still have a job and money. That's something to celebrate. I refuse to let one idiot ruin my life. He wants us all depressed and scared. F him. I'm getting older and lost 2 people close to me recently. Life is too short to spend 24/7 angry at him. I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm an American, I have a paid day off, I voted for Kamala, and I'll still be here building America long after this turd is gone. I will be BB King and drinking beer and shooting off illegal fireworks as God and George Washington intended. Yep, just took a walk in the nature preserve. Just took a walk with my little dude in the mountains. Pretty amazing. Fuck this place, I'm celebrating 5 years of sobriety today instead. Smiling face. Celebrating 16 years of sobriety. Heavy drinking, ETA, y'all. While I appreciate the notes of concern, with the exception of a hearty foo to whoever sicked Reddit's depression nanny bot on me, I promise this post was made with my tongue firmly implanted in my cheek and I'm not really sitting here pounding back whiskey shots. The opposite for me. Day 2 sober. I wish I had decided to try this again after a holiday, but here we are. You've got this. One day at a time. Camping in one of our gorgeous national parks. While we still can. Working, because holidays mean nothing to the lower class. Yup, our isolated deli that's already slow on a good day is open. I've sold a bag of ice. Glad I'm here instead of, IDK, spending time with my partner and dogs at home. By not working, that's it. In Denmark for the week, ignoring it. Welcome, we hope you enjoy your stay. Just left Copenhagen and am now in Ostrava CZ. I'm going to post Frederick Douglass's What to the Slave is the 4th of July on every possible platform. Here's James Earl Jones reading it, https://www.democracynow.org/2025/7/4/what_to_the_slave_is_ the. It says something about how the civilization of this great nation has fallen, that today that speech would have been chased from the stage by irate violence before it had gotten even half through. Yet back then he was permitted to speak every scathing word, and perhaps even touched hearts. I am disabled, just wishing I could marry my partner without losing my benefits. Instead I might lose my benefits and just die. Yay America, I'm sending you hugs, people hugging. I saw what you did there. I'll be with our Overpass Action Group, with a message on each side of a pedestrian bridge over a freeway. Protest is patriotic. No kings since 1776. Of course, the second message is aspirational at this point, since it appears we do have a self-declared king now. Closing parenthesis. Driving out to the countryside to spend time with a very ill friend. They probably had a few years left, but they'll likely lose their healthcare coverage soon as the cuts go into effect. They won't survive without it, and they will suffer horrifically in the meantime. If you happen to be a rare disease doc and know what erythromelalgia is, yeah. Plus some fun progressive disorders that have slowly taken away every body function. We've been inseparable since we met. They had to move closer to their family and I can't regularly drive out to see them anymore. It's entirely possible this will be the last time. But hey, some billionaires got tax cuts, I guess. Oh, that sounds like agony. Wishing them well while they can. Creating shareholder value for my technofeudal masters. How exciting. I'm black, so this holiday has always just been an excuse for me to not work and see my family. I plan to stay the course. We're not. It's my wife's birthday today and that is the only thing we are celebrating today in this house. It's my birthday too. I'm doing Summerween instead. Going to carve a watermelon and dress like a ghost in my little pool and take pictures, tears of joy. My wife has never liked fireworks. In the past she has always stayed home to comfort our dog during fireworks while I go see fireworks. Our dog recently passed away, so she is willing to go see fireworks with me and her best friend, who also enjoys seeing fireworks, for the first time in years. I am not feeling it though. I love what my country is supposed to be and what the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution represent. I am sickened as to what the malicious idiots currently running our government have done. They pretend to be for the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution while doing actions that contradict the documents. I am afraid of the present state of my country. I fear for the future of my country. For the first time in years I have the opportunity to see fireworks with my wife and I am just not feeling it. This makes me sad. Y'all are melodramatic as hell. I'm gonna drink beer and light fireworks. Maybe shoot some guns. Nothing in my life has changed for the worse. The classic, I haven't been negatively affected, so clearly nothing bad is happening. Heaven forbid we ask people to have empathy for others. Nothing in theirs has either. Lately it's mostly hypothetical bitching about what might happen in the future. It's true that nothing in my life has changed significantly. I'm pretty privileged to be insulated from a lot of the worst of it. So far, I have friends and family who lost their livelihoods in DOGE's mass firings. I have friends and loved ones in the LGBTQ community who have legitimate reason to fear for their rights. None of my trans friends are in the military, but they know people who are already under pressure to voluntarily separate from their military careers or be involuntarily discharged. I don't know the timeline, but the process has already begun. I have a loved one who recently had a procedure following a miscarriage. Her doctor told her that if it had happened in certain red states, it would have been a massive fight to get the procedure approved. It makes me worry for all the women who are likely to be hurt, and those who already have been, by this bullshit. I work with a lot of people who rely on Medicaid and SNAP benefits. If your definition of hypothetical bitching about what might happen in the future includes Congress just passed a law to gut or eliminate services that millions of people rely on for life-sustaining medical care and to feed their families, then sure, I'm bitching about the future. But it's really not hypothetical or might happen. It's been set into motion and is now law, or will be after Trump signs it this afternoon. I have loved ones who work in hospitals. Rural and urban hospitals in particular are going to be devastated by the changes in this law. At best, a lot of people will lose their jobs. At worst, a lot of hospitals will have to close, and in areas where they're most needed. I work with a lot of immigrants and some refugees, largely from Hispanic and South Asian countries. Nobody I know has been snatched up yet, but some, including teenagers, have been harassed by ICE already, outside of their schools no less. As far as I'm aware, the people I know are all here legally, but many have, or have families who have, legal status but are not citizens yet, and their legal statuses fall into categories that Trump and ICE are pushing to eliminate, revoke, which could technically turn them into illegal immigrants instantly on a whim, despite having lived here as productive members of society for their whole lives. A lot of people in these statuses have already been deported to prison camps on other continents, with no access to family or lawyers, so it's pretty damn scary to see Congress passing a law giving ICE a budget greater than the US Marines. Even before this unbelievably massive budget increase, ICE is already targeting schools and churches and workplaces. Anyone who suggests they're only snatching up violent gang members has their head in the sand. There is nothing hypothetical about the fact that a lot of people will be hurt and a lot of families will be destroyed by an ICE with a budget and scope that exceeds that of an entire military branch. Even if you, ignorantly, think that all the stories of ICE cruelty are fake news, all it takes is a brief look at the rhetoric of Republican lawmakers and pundits on the topic, openly joking about feeding 65 million immigrants to alligators, describing immigrants as invaders and animals and rapists, claiming that immigrants are eating people's pets, that some of them are cannibals. Laughing gleefully about the abuses they may face in CECOT or when dropped off to fend for themselves in humanitarian crisis zones like Djibouti and South Sudan. Do you think ICE is going to be humane and judicious with a $30 billion budget per year when these are the attitudes of the people who support and encourage them? There's nothing hypothetical about it. If I cut your income in half today, your life might not change tomorrow, but there's nothing hypothetical about the fact that you're going to struggle and suffer. If I give encouragement and massive funding to people who want to hurt you, your life might not change tomorrow, but there's nothing hypothetical about the fact that you now live under a constant threat of danger. One of my friends lost her job because USAID was dismantled. Several people I know in DC lost jobs because of agencies firing people or closing entirely. A colleague has been told her visa is going to be terminated because she is from Venezuela, and she can't leave the country to visit family because she won't be allowed back in. Her cousin is here as a refugee but was told they have to leave. Also, she's sending money back to family and it's the only thing keeping them from starving. Even just leaving her house is a concern because ICE is everywhere grabbing people like them. This isn't paranoia, it's actually happening. We are doctors. I know other doctors whose immigration status is at risk. You want to see what happens when we lose doctors when we are already short-staffed. As a doctor, I regularly participate in the care of people who have come here for abortion care because it's illegal now in their state. This is just what's happened so far. The new spending bill is going to impact even more people. That's just the truth, not hyperbole. Your life may not have changed, but a lot of people's has, drastically and with devastating consequences. Edit, just changing some personal details for privacy reasons. My wife's clinic is about to shut down since more than a third of their revenue comes from Medicaid and the uncertainty has their CEO planning on a shutdown. There is some melodrama but also some reality to this. Losing a job through no fault of one's own kind of sucks. Consider yourself lucky you aren't one of the citizens grabbed off the street as happened recently in SoCal.